Okay, guys, welcome back. We're just outside the Springbok Team Hotel. We've just got the team announcement for the first test against Argentina, Los Pumas. And it's a good team. It's a very interesting team, guys. I'm standing here with Vata and Ngobeni of SABC and independent newspapers, and Tinus van Staden. I want to say van Heerden, I don't know why. Anyway, I always want to do that with Tinus for some reason. And yeah, we're just going to chat about the team announcement and some interesting choices, guys. Which is the most interesting for you, Vata?
I think Makazole Mapimbi is a very interesting choice. One would have thought that maybe Rassie would have looked for experience in a car like Lozum Vovo probably to come in there. But at the same time as well, you got to give a guy who's one of the most prolific try scorers in the country an opportunity to play, especially in the Rugby Championship. He made his debut against Wales, but more opportunities for him, and to make sure that the backline keeps on firing. And we saw how they played in June, and again, if the ball does get out to Makazole, I think we're in for some wonderful tries in the not just in the game itself, but I think that throughout the Rugby Championship.
I think the one thing, Tinus, that surprised me is I thought Rassie might experiment a bit more in the pack, but Marco van Staden might start as well. But by playing flow, and you look at that loose trio he's picked with Warren Whiteley and Sia and Eben back in the pack as well, it's probably his most experienced pack that he could pick.
Yeah. It's quite interesting also that he has 4 Bok captains in the pack with Pieter Steff, Eben, Sia, and Warren. I'm a bit wary about the physicality of the loose trio, but I think it would be better with Sia at 7. I think he's a better 7 than he is a 6. Malcolm Marx is back, and that's huge. Best hooker in the world, probably. So, and the other good thing is that with Malcolm and Eben back, they were the Bok's best 2 players last year. Probably the only 2 guys that you could label as world class, maybe with Jan Serfontein as well. And now they back. So yeah, I think it's a strong pack. I'd still like to see Dwayne Vermeulen at number 8, but yeah, I think it's a very good pack.
I think that's where they're going to obviously look to stop them, because if you look at the way, and it's maybe an oversimplification to say they're going to play like the Jaguares, but if you look at the way Mario Ledesma trains his teams, they focus a lot on momentum, those little pop passes, and just getting that guy on your shoulder. And I suppose the pack that he's picked is very physical and hoping to stop them before they get that sort of momentum and before they get the ball to Sanchez, who's their big kingpin.
I think without a doubt, you've got to stop that pack of forwards, because everything starts and ends with that pack of forwards. I think Rassie may have missed a trick is when you look at his bench. A guy like Marvin Ori, as good as Marvin has been with the Lions in Super Rugby, I think a guy like Erge Sneeman would have probably offered him more in terms of, first of all, just the athleticism of the player himself. He's a wonderful nut jumper and caller. He's wonderful ball carrier as well. And I think when it comes to real abrasiveness and using brute force, you can't ask for more than a guy like Erge Sneeman. So I think there he might have missed something. But then you got a guy like Marco van Staden coming off the bench. He's proven time and time again that not only is he a good fighter, not only is he a good fighter for the ball at breakdown, but he can carry well and he can defend well. They don't call him Eskom for nothing. So, I think when it comes to the pack itself and how the Springbok pack is going to have to really stand up against that Argentina pack, I think he does have the right sort of components for a physical game. But then again, it comes down to 5 o'clock and which team is probably mentally ready for that physical and abrasive battle.
Now you can see we're standing here in Durban because you can hear some of the cars and the vrap boys there in the background. They keep on, they keep on interrupting us here. But if you look at that, the one thing that is interesting to me, and I mean, there's been a big backing of the Kanyo Am at inside centre, outside centre. Sorry, no, Damon Delende is injured. But yeah, a guy like Jesse Creel, who was probably the form outside centre in Super Rugby. It's very interesting to see him back, and Rassie saying that he's probably going to leave Jesse here and go overseas to Argentina with the Kanyo and Lionel Mapu, and leave Jesse to play Currie Cup. That's quite interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, he was the form outside centre in the in Super Rugby this year, so it is quite strange. But I think Rassie would like to see what the Shark centres in Andre Esterhuizen and Lucanio can do together at test level, because they haven't played a test together. So this will be their first time. And Rassie also spoke a lot about Lucanio's in the winning habits. So for what that's worth, I don't really know. But yeah, he quite likes to mention that as well. I would have liked to see Jesse on the bench at least. I think he can do the same that Lionel Mapu can do for you from the bench. And Lionel also played a lot. He played in the Super Rugby in the final and the semi-finals and the quarter-final, which Jesse didn't play. So I would have liked to see Jesse on the bench maybe. But yeah, I'm sure that Jesse will play a big part in the overseas leg, in the Australasian leg of the championship.
Well, I think Rassie's that's his way of experimenting. I think maybe we just need to get probably used to that a lot more as such. I think where the Pumas probably have got an advantage is looking at this team is their backline with guys like Buffeli and Sanchez and those guys. They're pretty potent on attack if they get that momentum. So I suppose if they get stopped up front, that'll help the box. But of course, they've been in South Africa almost longer than the Boks have been together this entire year. So that might help them as well. But it's going to be an interesting game. I still think the Boks are going to shade this one. I still think probably got too much. I don't think we're going to see the 2015 upset in Durban like we saw then. I don't know, Vata, give us a scoreline.
Brenden, I don't want to be the man that's going to be lambasted after this game for having provided people the wrong scores. But I think the Boks will shade the Pumas. And just going back to what you said about the Argentinians, I think as good as they were as the Jaguares under Ledesma in Super Rugby, one has to also remember that the burden of not having won as a Super Rugby side in South Africa was one that led to the undoing, in the quarterfinal in Johannesburg against the Lions. And I think that in itself, says a lot about this current side. As much as they're wearing a different jersey and they come back to Durban, last time they were here they won. I think they will understand that the weight of expectation on them to try and repeat that might just get the better of them. And you look at this Boks side and the confidence they've gotten, from the June series and how, again, Rassie, I think has been very, very clear with his messages to his players. Everyone knows where they stand. I think this Boks side, give them a few months together, probably for the rest of the year. And I think this time next year, Brenden, we'll be talking about a completely different side. But then again, as I say, I give it to Springboks to shade them off. I think they've got the confidence from the June series. And I think within the side, all you see is positive talk and it's reinforcement that what they're doing is right.
No, I'm not going to. I don't think we must get too much ahead of ourselves just yet because we've all seen last year they won 7 in a row and then they hit the All Blacks. So let's not go too far ahead. But just saying that, Tinus, last questions to you, of course. We're in Durban, it's overcast today. There's a lot of clouds about, a bit of wind. There's 60% chance for rain on Saturday. How much do you think that's going to affect the way the guys play and the scoreline?
Well, I think the Boks will have a set plan. They've been training in these conditions as well. It hasn't rained as of yet, but it has been overcast, and so I hope it doesn't rain. But if it does rain, I think we have a better scrum off and fly off combination now than the one that played in Cape Town when Elton struggled a lot when it rained against England. So I think Andre is better in rainy weather. We also have Willie back at fullback, so I think that'll help. And a big centre like Andre Esterhuizen will also help. If it does rain, it would come a forward battle, of course. I think it would be a forward battle in any case. Just so much more if it does rain, but I really don't hope it rain because I want to see some good tries from Makazole and the likes of them.
Well, Makazole definitely knows how to score tries, and that's I think we all want to see that. I'm hoping obviously for a good open game. That's it for us. Catch us after the game, which we'll be doing a post-match pint and discussing what went right or what went wrong. That should be quite interesting. But that's it for now. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you guys after the game. Cheers. Thanks.